Take 3. This is our vegetable garden. Tomatoes on this end, and the onions I planted just around the edges, all the way down. These are pretty squatty plants, and in here you can see, maybe some tomatoes down there. And over here we've got a couple of cherry tomato varieties. One there, and another one back here. I'm having to keep it up and down. When I upload it to YouTube, it doesn't rotate it like you want it, like if you were viewing it on the iPhone, on the computer. Here's one of my pepper plants that are stunted mice, basically. It's got a little medium-sized pepper on it, and that's a basil that's worse. My basil's done. Normally that gets 3 or 4 feet tall and it's bolted already. I don't know if I planted it too early. It's a broccoli plant that's been hacked on, and then now the bugs are going after the leaves. I think it's probably more or less done. And there's a bibbed lettuce that's blooming. You probably still pull the leaves off of that. And then this end of the garden is basically the herb garden. Over here you can notice the chives and cilantro, and there's several others. I'm not sure what they all are. Actually, I can go tell you what they are, because this one right here is, that's thyme. Over here, well, more thyme, but a different variety, variegated variety. And here is sage. Back here is oregano. And anyway, that's the garden. Now we're going to walk down to the other side of the yard. I'll take the scenic path underneath my potted plants in the patio. Point out a couple of interesting ones. This one is a very interesting plant. You may have seen pictures we posted of this one. It's a night blooming cereus, and it blooms at night in incredible blooms. Kind of a fun plant to have. It does stuff when it blooms, when nothing else is happening. This one's going crazy. Down here I did a little experiment this year with this hanging basket, where I only planted it up top, but I stuck some stuff around the bottom into the pot. It'll be interesting to see how that, in the coming months, when these plants fully grow out of there, what that's going to look like. Anyway, here is where we have found it. This used to be a hole in the ground the kids dug up years ago, and when we got married, we basically covered it up with some plywood with some outdoor carpet on, wrapped around it. And then this year I filled it in with a bunch of soil and compost, so it's got several feet of really nice soil, and the sunflowers are just loving it. And they're, some of them are over 6 feet tall. I'll walk around to the back side. One of them started blooming. There it is. It's about my eye level, that bloom right there. And of course there's a plant taller than that that's about 6.5 feet behind it. And you know, this one's going to bloom. Pretty soon they're all starting to, you know, put their buds on. The tallest one is the least developed of the blooms right now, the one in the back there. And these stalks on these things are incredible. Let me go down here. I mean, this thing is big. And that's a bamboo stalk. Planted. These were grown by seed. Everything else was little plants when we planted them, except these we planted by seed. And here's another. I don't know what variety it is. I have to wait till it blooms to see which one it is. But these aren't in near as good a soil, and so they're only about 3 feet tall right now. But you know, they're healthy looking. And I guess that's my flowers. I just put this fence around it, keep the dogs from digging it all up. This is basically, that's actually the top to my tomato cages, but this year's tomatoes are, if you look, there's two types of tomatoes. I think it's the patio variety, where they don't get more than 3 feet tall. I'm seeing how they do versus the regular ones. Anyway, but they got the verbenas, and there's marigolds back there. This is the verbena. It'll bloom again later. It was blooming a few weeks ago. And then in the back, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see, I planted several taller plants that I was thinking basically would stay in the garden, but obviously since there's going to be a pool here, I'm going to have to transplant these things. Hopefully, I may even have to, I don't know that I can transplant a 6-7 foot tall sunflower when they put the pool in, because they're going to bloom probably fine in the next few weeks, but it's going to take longer, I'm sure, to seed, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But and along the fence here, we have Vicky's favorite trumpet vine. And I have to prune the thing almost weekly. It comes up in the yard everywhere and has these trumpet blooms. And this is, it grows into the fence in several places. And over here we've come up over here next to the house. And this is our shade for the kitchen window. And I have to keep it off the siding because it ruins it. So I have to prune this thing constantly, and I guess this is a gas line pipe here that comes along the back of the house, and it's all tangled up in that. And guess who we got here? Buddy checking me out. We got him on a diet, but we're feeding him this Senior Light formula dog food. And there's the dog that's been eating Senior Light.